Sometimes dead is better.
Charlie, come here, come here.
What?
There's no trumpets.
The trumpets have stopped.
They're gone.
That's right. It was our whole intro.
It was. Are we free?
It is February finally over?
It's now March. We control the podcast now.
Oh, we got control back.
The one that shall not be named is gone. We vanquished him.
He went up in a big old puff of smoke. All that was left was his glasses and his hat.
And the trumpet.
Oh, that's right.
Or trombone. Whatever the hell it is.
He plays a trumpet.
It's a trumpet. It's a trumpet.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He can't hurt us.
Like, I'm pretty sure he was playing taps after he got done burying you again.
Yeah, he tried. He was really upset.
We did kind of put an episode in his month.
Well, to be fair, he also made us watch a cutie bunnies, honeys, drizzle.
You're not wrong. So I think it's totally justified after watching that one.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what, March, you know what? It's a nice, clean, easy slate.
Right.
And
I mean, it's almost spring, right? So it's kind of like a spring cleaning.
It's spring cleaning, exactly. We had to get rid of the dust and clean out the podcast waves.
Yeah. I think we're good. I think he's not here. So
I don't see him.
He's not on my screen. Just, did you lock your door?
Yeah. Door is
locked. That's been the problem you've had lately, is you do not lock your doors.
Yeah, that's been a problem. And Beefcake is on watch, so
okay.
Yeah, we're good. I just can we do this? This feels wrong almost.
It feels a little wrong, but I'm also
dirty.
Super excited about it. So I'm not upset.
So we decided to make an appointment with a dentist.
We did. After all of the sweetness from Cutie Honey Boo Boo Shaboopy, I needed to see a dentist. Shaboo. I felt like we needed to see a dentist, and
this is fair. I've been eating a lot of Snickers and Mountain Dew just to survive.
Yeah. Well, we all do that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is obviously sponsors us. Come on now.
Yeah, sponsors.
So
yeah, we made a couple of phone calls, and then I remembered exactly why I hate the dentist.
Yeah, definitely. I also remembered why I watched Falling Down instead.
Yeah. A lot of parallels to the movie we're going to talk about this week.
Weird parallels to a way better movie about a man losing his mind.
Yeah, I mean, I won't deny that, but I will say I had fun with this one. So we're starting off our March with The Dentist. And guess what, Nate?
What's that?
Guess what? There's a trailer in
we
English.
Have a trailer? Oh my God. You know what? I didn't have to read this movie.
I didn't either. No subtitles.
You know what? I got to look at the TV, and if I wanted to look down, I didn't miss anything. I could hear what they were going to say.
Everything was clear.
I also wasn't bored and wanting to, hide in the crevice of the couch instead of watching the movie.
Same. Jackie sat all the way through this movie with me. So yeah, this was a good pick. So I tell you what, before something happens, I'm gonna play our trailer.
Oh my God, a trailer! Yeah, play that before he gets in here.
For The Dentist.
Hi there. Is this your first trip to the dentist? You a little scared? No? Good. Give me 5.
Dr. Alan Finestone's a renowned dentist who's got it all.
Pianibers.
A beautiful wife, a thriving practice, and an impeccable reputation.
I know I'm early.
Couldn't wait, huh?
No more braces, thank God. Feels like quite a practice, doctor.
Kay is always busy, so we're always busy.
But behind the success is a man who's feeling the pressure.
The IRS? You got real tax problems. When I tell you to do something, you do it.
We're short-staffed as it is.
Do you dress like that in front of the pool, man?
Would you like to make another appointment?
I had an appointment. You're not wearing anything.
Now, Dr. Finestone's gone over the edge.
This is my wife! Please.
Tonight you pay for all that you've done to me.
Maybe we should close up until things are under control.
Things are under control. Everything is under control.
What we've got here is a seriously derailed train. Man over the edge.
Open wide.
Here's high.
The Dentist.
There now. Better?
That sound.
That trailer guy voice. The trailer guy voice.
So I missed my
He's
trailer
real.
guy voice. This one, I found it and I went, oh, this is just like when we did Arachnophobia, where it sounds like this family adventure movie, family friendly thing at the beginning of the trailer.
It's a 90s adventure.
It's so, and it makes it even more unnerving when you know what this movie's about, man. But yeah, so Nate, why don't you tell them why we're doing The Dentist? What led up to us even picking this movie?
Yeah, why did we pick The Dentist? Well, we had to, clean the gunk off of February. And we wanted something that we definitely remembered from, that childhood and that uncomfortableness with it.
Yep.
We haven't done a Brian Usna directed film yet.
No, but Brian is a pretty regular on the show.
Yes, with his producing works.
With his
And
producing
then
works.
Vestron just released a Blu-ray of 1 and 2, and you happened to pick it up, and then you sent me the digital copy. And since the inception of this podcast, The Dentist has came up multiple times, and it just hasn't quite found a right moment to be watched until the timing of the Blu-ray being released, and just like we needed something for March and try to have that clean slate, and here we are.
A good old dental cleaning. Yeah, so good old Vestron, man. They pump out some bangers lately.
This transfer is magnificent.
Gorgeous.
Because you still get the graininess, the film, like the black lines into it as well. They didn't clean that up, and I love that.
They didn't hyper polish this. This is just on a really good, clean transfer.
It looks like a high quality VHS.
It does.
In the best way possible. Like
hi-fi.
Yeah.
No, it was.
It's got a million megabytes of memory.
That's a million megabytes. But yeah, I mean, and with like Vestron, like I picked up another one at Christmas. I got the Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think it's 3, 4, and 5.
I wanted to buy that, but Walmart wouldn't price match it with me.
I know.
The sons of bitches.
We've heard the saga. It's insane. And I did the first 2 are on separate DVDs, and I think they're at least $20 a piece. I was like, well, I'll just keep my I think it was like $14 or $15 for the 3. But
I wasn't going past 11. Damn it, Walmart.
No, the Dentist movies, they were $12.99. That's what I paid for 2 movies.
Well, that's what's great about Vestron is they usually give you a quality movie at a very, very affordable price.
Affordable price.
I whatever it is that their motto is, I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, but their sales pitch is we bring something that's kind of been forgotten about, we restore it, and we bring it back at an affordable price point.
And what I like about them is they are available in Walmart. Like, I'm pretty sure you can probably order them like on Amazon or something, but I like walking into Walmart and going, oh, there's a new Vestron release. And they've released like movies that aren't like horror, action. Sometimes I'll skip those over. I think they had Earth Girls Was Easy was one of their other recent releases. And I was just kind of like, I like Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, but I'd rather watch The Fly instead of, Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans and everyone in furry alien suits. It's just, I'll skip that one. It's fine. But no, so The Dentist, man. And like you were saying, we all have memories of this movie. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've watched this movie since the 90s.
Oh,
like seriously.
Same. This was a movie, and I don't think I've ever seen like an actual uncut version of it, because I remember
Oh,
this
okay.
being the movie that played during daytime on like WGN, one of
Yeah, I
those
can see
like
that. Yeah. The
Fox afternoon
other
movies.
other cable
Yeah,
stations.
yeah. It wasn't the WB, ABC, NBC, or any of that. It was like you just happened to get this channel 19 if the
Yeah.
antenna was moved just right to the left and pointed skyward.
It was always owned by some weird other company, and then after a year, it would be sold to another company.
Yep,
So you
it was
never
constantly
really know.
being sold, and then sometimes it was just like, we're playing nothing but Star Trek now, and you're like, I
Yep.
don't like Star Trek. Why are you doing this?
Just over and over again. So yeah, I remember. I don't think I ever watched this one on television, but this was definitely one me and Ben would rent.
Oh, and that's the other thing. This was
Yeah.
definitely a VHS rental because, I mean, it's the dentist, the cover of it
Oh,
alone.
the cover's
you
just
know?
hands in a mouth with metal
A-
tools, and
it's that perfect if you're, that right teenage age to be like, ooh, this could be scary, or really, this could be disturbing, bloody,
this was the uncomfortable genre of horror. This was like, it's not a slasher, it's not a ghost story. It's just so flippin' uncomfortable. And I put these kind of in the same things of, say, like Dr. Giggles or The Ice Cream Man, because all these movies kind of came out around the same time.
This is the kind of like, even though I was allowed to watch these type of movies, like, oh, this one I gotta hide in the rental stack.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
this one kind of feels like. Oh no, this one needs to be hidden in the stack of the movies. That way, it's not being known that we're renting this one for movie night.
And it's one of those that you rent because you've already watched all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, all of the, Friday the 13th. Now you're going into, okay, what's in the B roster? What's in the C roster? And I don't mean alphabetically, I meant grade of movie.
No,
And
it's this constant high that you're looking for of what will be the next nightmare. And then
Yeah.
as a horror fan, you do realize you have to watch a lot of shit to get to like something that's really good.
So much shit. So
Which makes
much.
the chase a lot more fun because you just never know what is going to be that
Yeah.
hidden gem.
That's our mystery boxes before mystery boxes. That's our
Yeah.
loot crates before loot crates were a thing. So, just grab that movie. It says it's rated R. Let's take it home and see what's on it. But and even Jackie, whenever I told her we were covering it, she's like, "That's like Corbin Burnson, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, that's exactly who's in this." I mean, so it has some staying power with people's memories of this movie, and I remembered like 2 or 3 scenes from this movie, but it almost felt like I was watching it for the first time again.
That's
you know?
exactly like I remember like one specific scene the most, and other than that, it's kind of like I don't know if I've seen part 2 or not, or if it's the same thing where it's like maybe I remember a scene from that, and we both purposely decided let's not watch part 2.
Yep.
Because I know us, we would have inadvertently ended up talking about both movies.
Every
And
time.
next thing you know, we would have had a double feature on our hands that we didn't mean to do.
Yeah, it definitely would have happened. And I purposely left it out. I'm excited to watch the second one because from what I understand, they went even more into the gore in the second one. It's that whole sequel mentality of let's go bigger. And I want to say Clint Howard is in the sequel, which I just
That
talked
makes
about.
sense.
Ice
I mean,
Cream
if it's the
Man and stuff
90s and
like
Clint
that.
Howard just happened to
Yeah.
walk down the street, you got him in your movie.
I expected him in this movie, but guess who we got in this movie, Nate? Did you see the name that come across the credits?
The Incredible Hulk.
Holy shit, dude.
Not Lou Ferrigno, not Edward Norton, not Eric Bana. He doesn't count. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo's name comes scrolling across the screen, and Jackie and I are both like, that can't be the Mark Ruffalo.
Clearly,
we're
there's
thinking
another
about.
Mark Ruffalo.
That's what I was saying.
If he's acting nowadays, he's Mark L. Ruffalo.
Yeah.
He's got his middle initial out there to separate himself from the Hulk.
Yep. And this was one of those times, like, I didn't even want to get IMDb out. So I just rode the wave through the movie till I saw him pop up there. And we are both excited that, like, holy shit, Mark Ruffalo is in this movie and actually has a fairly decent part in it.
Yeah, it's a decent size. I mean, He doesn't fight the dentist. He doesn't go Hulk on him, which I was really wanting him to thunderclap.
He kind of does.
He kind of does, but you know what? He could have went a little further.
He could have, but he clocks him. He clocks him good, but it's not like at the end of the movie, at the climax, he does anything.
Yeah,
this
but
is
you
like
know, I
midway.
needed like Scarlett Johansson there, grabbing his hand, telling him like, "Hey, big fella, you
Sun's
know,
getting
calming
awful
him
low.
down." Yep.
Oh, but I liked seeing him in that, and a lot of people that are kind of known now, but again, when I watched this originally, I didn't know who anyone
Well,
was.
there was
movie.
one that, as even watching, I went, "There ain't no way that's him," and it was Ken Foray.
Dude,
I don't remember him being in this, but also like you put glasses on him, and I was like, I didn't know who that was him. I seriously didn't know until the credits rolled. Went, wait, that was Ken Foray in this movie? I was like, Superman can work.
I saw his name come across the thing, and I saw him. I have an issue with that I'll save for later. It's one of my bitches, I guess, about the movie.
I got a bitch that I'll put out right now. It's just he basically plays, you know, the U.S. Marshal from The Fugitive, you know.
Oh, he is not Tommy Lee Jones from The Fugitive.
He is basically trying to be that.
No.
The wind was going at 13 miles per hour to the west, which means the bullet would have protracted off the dog's skull into this right here.
Yeah, it was very CSI Miami or something like that.
But it was like on a Big Lots level.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it was the Dollar Tree Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, if we're since you already jumped on it, I'll jump on it then. So one of my biggest bitches about it was Ken Foray in this because they wasted him.
Completely.
Such a waste of a character because he's the cop. And I can ignore I know with how the bullet like that bullet hole in the side of the house was pretty blatant right in front of you. Like you have the worst crime scene investigation crew on the house. And so but they did something that when I saw them do it, I went, oh, I kind of know the direction they're going to take this guy. He's eating, I don't know whether it was nuts or candy or something.
I figured he was just eating peanuts.
And he grabs his mouth like you have a sore tooth and hands his partner the bag of whatever it was. Like, okay, I'm done eating these. Keep them away from me. But it's like he has a toothache. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. We're in the dentist. That's how we're going to get like this clash between the cop.
I got to make a dentist appointment.
Yeah. And then he goes to the dentist's house, Corbin Burnson's house, looking for, anyone that has any information about how the dog died. The dog literally died seconds after Corbin Burnson left, and all they're doing is asking him if he saw anything. I'm like, I know there's no Ring doorbells in the 90s, but no one else was there. That is my main suspect, period.
Yeah, that's my only suspect.
That's my only suspect. And he walks in, he talks to Corbin, and I was waiting for this comment of Corbin dropping that I'm in a hurry. I'm a dentist. I have an appointment to get to. And for Ken Foray to go, you're a dentist. I have this terrible tooth cavity decay thing going on. And Corbin's like, okay, set up an appointment with my office. And then that would have led up to this whole thing of Foray being there, kind of like around the mental break the dentist has. Never happened. It's Ken Foray wandering around putting pieces together till the very freaking last second, and they barge in to save the day. But I was like, I don't know whether it got cut, because why do you make a comment about him having a sore tooth? That irritated me. Like, I would have wished they cut that out and just never try to even hint at that storyline.
Like, here's the thing, like, so watching this as an adult and not remembering this movie too well, I just remembered like some of the uncomfortable, like teeth get pulled and
that's all I
mouths,
remembered.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
But seeing it's like, oh, this plot is falling down, like it's a man on the edge is even put in the trailer.
Yeah.
And seeing that it's even co-written by Stuart Gordon, like I kind of expect a little bit more of it, and it tries to be real nuance with itself.
So, and I think that's where I was talking about. Like, this isn't your normal horror movie that we're used to. But knowing what we know about Brian Usna and Stuart Gordon is they're huge on H.P. Lovecraft type stuff.
Yeah. The descent into madness.
Exactly. And if you know that, that's what we watch is a man's descent into madness without a paranormal, entity controlling it.
We know that he's on medication, so we don't know what kind of disease he has.
Right.
Or what, I guess, issues. I hate saying
we
disease.
have no backstory on this guy.
None. It's just he suspects that his wife is cheating on him with the pool boy and that everything's filthy because he's a dentist and everything has to be clean, but the world is full of filth and I must exterminate that filth, one decaying tooth at a time.
And I like that, but I kind of was even expecting to build on that a little bit more with him being maybe even somewhat OCD. Like, you kind of get the hint that he is because everything, but it's not what we're used to seeing. Like, even whenever he's like at his office desk, like things aren't like in a perfect place. He can't find his cufflinks. He can't find things. And I'm like, okay, so he's not like super OCD, but now all of a sudden he's just like, the filth of the world is this issue.
Being a dentist has drove the man mad because all he knows is rotting in this world and nothing can be saved.
And I think that I like the setup with the IRS thing because money's stressful. You think this guy's doing great. He's got a fancy ass house.
He's got a pool
that needs a pool boy. Platinum cufflinks that his wife bought him, but she obviously doesn't work. So he bought himself some platinum cufflinks, which is why he's like, how much were these? So he's because he already knew money was tight. And so you've got this IRS agent hounding him enough to where the guy's like, I'm just going to come to your office. You better have an appointment ready for me so we can talk.
But I do like that the IRS comes in to barter with him. Like, hey, you know what? We'll make some of this tax stuff disappear if you get rid of this cavity root.
He's
root canal needs done.
He's a dirty IRS agent, and I guess that kind of goes hand in hand.
That's a terrible trade-off, though. Like, if you're bartering for, like, tooth work with the IRS, like, I feel like you could do better. I feel like there's someone else that you could blackmail that has way better, stuff to get.
It's also like you already know he's having money issues, so it's not like you can blackmail him for money. So literally, you just want to get your teeth took care of?
Yeah, exactly. And
the IRS doesn't even have good insurance? Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what you're telling me. And also, I'm looking at going, why does this tax guy look so damn familiar?
Oh, I know.
And it's like, he's the dickhead from Terminator.
Yep, the psychiatrist doctor that was in both Terminator movies, Terminator 1 and 2. So I he fit that. He wasn't like as sleazy in the Terminators. He was just like he wasn't listening to Sarah Connor or anything like that. She treated her as she was crazy. He was just a sleazeball. When he does that to the kid, he gives the kid like some money and he's like, I'm next. He's very like, I don't give a shit about you or your braces. I felt so bad for this poor kid in this movie.
Oh, same. So we have a character in this movie where she's had braces on her teeth for like 2 years. And she's finally going to get them removed. And like the movie takes place over the course of 2 days. So we get introduced to her character on day 1. Her excited to get her braces removed. It doesn't happen. Now it's on day 2. And you're just waiting for something terrible to happen to her because we're seeing the dentist lose his mind more and more. The way that he is messing people's mouths up. The way that he is drilling into teeth, pulling, extracting them. So all you're thinking is this poor girl has already gone through the embarrassment of having braces for 2 years. She can't wait to get this taken off. What is going to happen to her? And like, they're all innocent victims, but my God, don't let anything happen to her because like, she's just been waiting for this day.
Yeah, that was me watching
and
this.
That was, to me, very clever horror. Like that was well done because you don't know what is going to happen to her. And you're like, please don't let something happen to her. Like the IRS guy getting his teeth completely
you want him to die. You want him
no one likes doing their taxes, so it's totally fair.
Right. Yeah. So I like the fact that honestly, until her name was Sarah in the movie, until the introduction of Sarah, you don't realize who's left to latch onto as a viewer. You're trying to latch on to like his assistants, but you find out they all die in this movie. You know, he ends up killing the people that are actually there to help him. You don't want to latch on to the wife because she's cheated on him with the pool boy.
Or has she? Because that was one of the things. I don't know if it was ever fully.
I think it was. I think after,
or was it just in his head?
So we had the part where he like imagines something happening, and let me tell you, man, that was brutal as all get out. Like that was some classic, like rough horror right there, where he just pushes her head.
Him just thinking that his wife is cheating on him right in front of him, and just like the horrific things that he would do.
And as a viewer, you're like imagining worse stuff that's about to happen. Like he's holding the gun on the guy, and the wife is like, no nice way to say it, she's going down on the dude, and he holds her head down, and I'm waiting for him to like hit her on top of the head and chomp the dude's junk off. You know what I mean?
You're waiting for junk to get chomped off, and
he's
also talking about like, show him how perfect your teeth
That's what I was going to say. He kept pointing out like, how perfect are your teeth? Show him how perfect your teeth are. And I'm like, she's going to bite his dong off.
Yeah,
and then
there's going to be a dong bite, and that's never happened in the history of the show. What do we do?
Not yet. Not yet.
This was dick punches of the week, but not dong bites of the week.
We've had David Bowie's codpiece, but we have not had a removal of said junk. We did have a dick shot off. Okay, so that did happen.
You know, that's going to happen, but not one being bitten off.
But and then it cuts back to where he's basically just imagining it. But I think because he goes back and sees it happen, I feel like that was actually what was happening. Because she's also acting as if she's done with the marriage as it goes. And the pool boy, goes up to her when she's laying at the pool later. So I feel like that wasn't supposed to be like a misguide.
Maybe I am just a blissfully unaware human being who just expects the good out of everyone and doesn't think that people cheat.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
maybe that's what it is out of me, where I'm like, that would never happen. No way. The pool boy?
No.
What's he got to give other than amazing abs and perfect pecs and covered in grease?
Not Adam Sandler from Airheads, damn it. I like the way the water feels around me when I spin around like an egg. All that stuff.
And I'm like, the pool boy's clearly hooking up with the neighbor lady. So obviously the pool boy can't just be hooking up with everyone that has a pool in this neighborhood. A, that's got to be exhausting. B, you can't just keep, banging all your clientele, because when something goes wrong with the pool and you can't fix it, now they're really going to be upset with you.
Well, he wasn't going to fix the backed up filter on the one for him anyway.
He was laying pipe. That's what he was doing.
That's what he was. He was a plumber by trade.
Yes.
So but this is what we start understanding. So Corbin Bernsen is under pressure of finances. He finds out his wife is cheating on him. The business is kind of struggling, I guess, because to me it seems like he's doing everything. Like he has dental assistants. And like one I feel like was a little bit higher up than the other one, so she could do things without the doctor, but the big stuff was always on Corbin Bernsen's shoulders.
Well, it's like if everyone's been in a dentist's office knows, like you have multiple dentists there, and then
that's what I always thought.
Dental assistants as well, and like this guy's practice is just him.
It's just him, a secretary, 2 dental assistants, but yet he's poured the money into the business, so you can tell that. Like he has all these fancy, like
and
the
he's
rainforest room. People are there waiting. One dude freaking storms out, because the doctor was late getting in there. But so one thing I think some people would incorrectly assume is this movie's slow paced, and I don't want to call it that. I don't feel like it's slow paced. I just feel like it's a slow burn.
Yeah, not even like a slow burn to modern times. Like it hit me when watching this. I was like, well, this is not your typical slasher, because obviously he can't just kill his patients because he has a busy office. So like if you were to have a patient not come out of the room, everyone's gonna be like, what happened to so-and-so? and then you have
Right.
another patient go in and they don't come out. What happened to them? So like
It's not
the movie
the
then
Sweeney
has
Todd
to
thing.
yeah, the movie has to kind of juggle like, all right, well, if we're gonna have victims, how do we make this, justifiable
Yeah.
and when it happens? So
You,
then
you
that's
still
what
haven't
you're
watched
waiting
Sweeney
for.
Todd, have you?
I have not. I failed at my project back in October.
Oh, you were supposed to watch that
I
because
I promised I would, and then I
Wh-
didn't.
when you're the demon barber, it's always good to be over top of a meat processing plant. So when people come in, they may never come out, but you only do hair, styling and stuff at night.
So if he were to do dentist practice above a meat processing factory,
you're good.
then you're good to go.
You're good to go, man. You're good to go.
And then you bite into that hamburger and you find a tooth and you go, ugh.
Yeah. So I think that's the next thing we should talk about. So this movie is very smart on the level of gore and how to deliver it. Because this thing, it's rated severe for gore, and it is. This is pretty severe.
It is,
like,
but also
trauma
when you
gore.
have the name Brian Usna and Stuart Gordon involved, you would expect, I guess, more.
I guess if it was something that I knew it was a slasher or creature feature, yes.
Yeah.
But when you're talking the dentist, it's very specific on the mouth. So some mouth horror is going to happen.
And that's the thing, because we are all uncomfortable with, like, I don't want my damn tooth pulled.
No, getting a shot in your
I don't want
gums
a drill happening. Like, yeah, like I don't want anything of this.
Even cleaning suck.
Oh,
That
it's the
pick
worst. I
scraping
gotta
on your
hold my
teeth.
mouth open, and then the only time I get some kind of like breath of fresh air is when you put the hose in me that like is the air sucking. Ugh.
Sucking the saliva out of your mouth. But I like how it works its way to that, because he gets the little kid. And he's got the facade on. This is kind of the start of seeing his cracks in his mental break. Was he's cleaning the tooth and he starts, his mind starts to wander about everything going on, and he sees the teeth as this decayed garbage teeth. And
he thinks that this kid's eating nothing but Snickers. Once again,
Yeah.
please sponsor us, Snickers.
And he cleans a little too much.
You're not you when
and-
you're hungry.
That's right. Eat a Snickers. And he pokes the inside of the gums, and blood just gushes out. And the kid freaks out, and everyone in the room freaks out.
And then you get
And it's-
Supermom, who just instantly grabs her kid like, "We're leaving," and then
We're
like just
out of
charges
here.
out. Yeah, we'll
Kids-
never come back.
Kid's legs are flailing at the
Yeah,
bottom.
his legs just slam into the door. His head slams into the wall, and then when she gets to the car, it's slamming into the concrete. Like she is just like flailing
She
that kid all over the
Ragdoll
place.
that kid all the way
Yeah.
to the car.
And then everyone in the lobby is just like, "What just happened?"
What is going on? And he kept trying to, make up an excuse, like the kid moved, the kid flinched, and then he even yells at his assistant, "No more kids. We're not doing kids anymore." And
Which
I was like,
that
"Wow,
alone is a bad business practice, and that's why the IRS man's going to come after you, because kids are your number one clientele as a dentist.
kids are money makers,
That's a
man.
gold
'cause
mine.
That's 2 sets of teeth you get to work with, man.
Yeah,
You never knock
you
out
get
not
2
doing the kids'
sets.
teeth.
Kids, they love to eat Snickers. Like, why would they
Yeah.
not?
I'd give them Snickers after their appointment. That's exactly what I
That's
would
exactly
do.
like those gyms that do pizza days on Friday because they're like, "Yeah,
Yep.
you bitches, keep coming back to us. We'll reward you with pizza on Friday because you
Right.
earned it.
That's right. That's so
You
messed
eat the
up.
pizza."
But I also that with this thing with the kid, we get to see. This is the 90s. This is all practical effect. The oversized mouth they made for the
Oh,
filming.
it cracks me up because, like,
It's
obviously trying to film hands inside of a mouth would be just impossible.
no, it's not happening.
No. So it's like, what if we just build a giant mouth
Yeah.
and it's only one mouth and we'll just have it to where teeth can be removed from it?
Which was kind of a cool concept, and
It's
honestly,
clever.
it works. It really does. I was watching this going, I know it's a fake mouth, but I'm still flinching when stuff's happening inside the mouth. The kid poking the gums through the kid was one thing. The one I hated, I'm not even worried about I keep wanting to say ex-wife. I guess ex-wife at the end of this, but not the wife, not the IRS guy, the neighbor lady he calls to set
Oh
up an
my
appointment.
God. That
And
one is so brutal and uncomfortable to get through.
I was physically like moving in my chair. My skin was crawling because he knows she's sleeping with the pool boy, and
Well, the whole
she's
town's sleeping with the pool boy.
Yeah.
He's never getting any pool work done. He's very tired.
but she's friends with the wife, so obviously he thinks they're in cahoots and all this other stuff. So he goes in and starts cleaning her teeth with the drill because she needs a cap or crown, whatever it is. And he just goes and he loses his
He
mind
grinds
and
a
he grinds
tooth.
it. Gone. Like
And we get to see the tooth just dissolve.
you just see like the pulp and everything coming up out of this tooth, and his assistant is like freaking out. And the ladies, like, the needle bugged me. It was a good effect too, showing that needle to numb the area. But dude, when they set it up for him to just grind that molar to almost nothing, worst part of the movie for me. Worst part of the movie. I was so uncomfortable, my skin was crawling.
And even like his assistant is like, "Whoa, like you realize what you're doing, right?" And like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah. I mean, and the assistant's already kind of like on to the doctor that something's going on. There's a scene in this movie I don't want to put a big spotlight on, but it's an uncomfortable scene that I don't really particularly care
and that's
for.
like the scene that I remember the most. And like when we picked this movie, I was really nervous that that scene was the entire movie. And
No,
thankfully it was not, but it was
and
just like, oh,
it's fairly quick too. There's a girl goes under. It's Mark Ruffalo as he's an agent for a model, and the doctor loses his mind and thinks it's his wife for a little bit. That's as far as I'll say. So the one nurse finds something in the room, which leads her to believe that something's not right with the doctor. So she's already like suspicious of everything going on. And the doctor ends up killing her like fairly suddenly, because she's like ready to tell what she knows or thinks she knows, and he freaks out and strangles her to death. And I'm just like, good effect too, strangling her to death. I mean, she turned colors.
Yeah,
like
she
I
did.
was like, holy shit. And this is why people are in the office. The whole thing's, people are there, and he kills her and hides the body.
And then says, like, when other people start asking, like, "Hey, where's so and so?" He's like, "Ah, they had to go home, or they're fired, aren't they?"
Yeah, I
They
fired them,
Yeah.
and she just left. So a lot of that happened.
This would be such a weird day at the office. Be like, all right, we already have one kid get his head bashed into a door because his mom was dragging him out. We already had the Incredible Hulk punch the dentist, and now the dentist is fired my best friend.
Yeah, all this chaos is happening.
And for some reason, we have a tax man that's wanting to make a barter with teeth for money.
Tax man wanting his teeth fixed, which is hilarious.
And it's only Tuesday, so who knows what's going to happen on Wednesday?
No clue. This was the start of the week, man. That is the worst Monday and Tuesday I've ever seen in a movie. So we kind of only got like the big ones to talk about next. There's like one other kill. He kills the other assistant with an air bubble, which has always been a fear of mine. In
air
a
bubble to
hospital.
the brain, which is
terrifying. I was like, and again, I'm like, holy shit, he just killed the two people that are there to help him.
Yeah, so now he's got to tell that his secretary, the front office lady, well, now I fired her as well. And if you keep it going, I'll fire you next. I'll fire everyone in this damn building. I'll fire the patients.
She's at the front. So she's like, I haven't seen anyone leave this building except the kid that left a dent in the wall. Well, I have no idea. So, but before we get into the big ones, this is normally when we do a commercial break. But what I have for us is we were sent an email, finally, to our email address, Nate.
Oh, where I got locked out of the email. I just never got access to it.
I told you I could just give you the password.
I know, but you know what? At this point, you take care of it.
At this point, it's just funnier for me to do it, right?
It's just easier for you to take care of the email that I got locked out of somehow.
That's fine. Well, anyway.
I realize it's just a password's all I need.
That's all it is.
But you got this. I believe in you and your email capabilities.
I'll take care of it. It's fine. So anyway, we got an email from our brothers over at Spoils of Horror for our 2-year anniversary. Oh, Step Brothers. That's how we're doing it. You're still salty about them using your pictures.
That they shared my childhood photos without my permission, without consent.
You know, I for a second on one of their episodes, I thought they had an issue with our body counts, but he kind of
That's
backpedaled a
another
little
thing
bit.
too. They started to really shit on body counts, and I'm just over here going, "The hell we
Wait
do
a
to you?"
minute. That's right.
Yeah.
We have body counts.
We have body counts. That's all I could think of. I'm like, wait a minute.
But he did clarify that he likes our body counts.
Talked about our body count is more, it's highbrow compared to what those other guys do.
We don't just ride the body count. That's just the sprinkles on top of the show. Yeah. But anyway, they sent us a clip to play because they didn't have time to do it whenever we actually did go 2 years, but it's fine. So
it's cool,
I got to thinking though, I remember what we did to them because we sent them a clip on their anniversary and we dropped a lot of F-bombs.
Well, it's because it was adults only were invited.
True. It was definitely over 21.
Yeah. And so we decided, cut loose a little.
Yeah.
We don't get to do that on this show.
We don't. So I have implemented some safety precautions just in case, because I'm just going to play their clip. I haven't listened to this yet. So just know that due to things in a previous episode, I may have let an F-bomb slip through. And I felt really, really bad about that.
Well, so, Nate and Pete might have drove Charlie to the edge of a man who's broken in a world full of filth.
It was pretty bad. I felt much like Corbin Burnson after doing that episode. So I found a program that helps me with editing. So I hope it doesn't have to happen. But let's play their clip for us and let's enjoy what the guys over at Spoils of Horror have to say to us.
Hey Leo.
Yeah, hi.
I don't know if you heard, but our friends over at Give Me Back My Action Movies and Give Me Back My Horror Movies recently had their 2-year anniversary episode.
2 years.
Pretty incredible, huh?
That's really great. I'm actually very proud of them.
It is a wonderful achievement. During their episode, they asked people to supply questions. And we supplied a couple of questions.
Yes, we did. Very nice, poignant, perfectly placed.
Interesting questions that really got to the mind.
Thought-provoking, yeah.
But they made a very casual comment. One thing these shows don't understand, these ones that we partner with, I hear everything.
That is true.
And they made this casual comment where they said, for our 2 years anniversary, Spoils of Horror didn't send us an audio clip. We sent them an audio clip.
Well,
I thought we could send them one because they did send us one before.
It is true. They did. They were very kind. It was very lovely. Enjoyed it. In a breakout, not typical for them way funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was good humor. It was solid. It was something we could really sink into, and it really played well to our show, the way we do things.
Well, they finally got to drop the F-bomb, which they never get to do on their show.
That was a treat, because our show,
we do it all the time.
I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
so
it's all over the
people
place.
are used to it.
Every other word.
But to have it be something special, I remember those days when it was a special word.
Yeah. Anyway, now we're on their channel, and I just want to say congratulations on 2 full years.
2 years.
You guys are doing great. You're an amazing show. And
we love you guys.
In the end, all the work you do, you guys are a bunch of badass motherfuckers. What just happened?
That sounded like a gunshot.
Dude,
I've been in poor neighborhoods before. I know what gunshots sound like.
Dude, I live in Cambridge. Like, people here eat kale.
I'm telling you.
That must have just been... Somebody had their TV on.
Oh, you know what? That's probably true.
So anyway, I don't want to get interrupted again. So you guys are great. You have an amazing show. You guys are badass motherfuckers. It happened again.
Twice. Wait a minute. Wait. Now, we came here to their show. We're in their little world. Do you think...
When they were on our show, they could say... But now
that we're in their show...
We're on their show.
We can't say...
We can't say...
That's not going to work for me.
I can't do this.
I can't. You know how many times I have to say that. It's a medical condition.
I say all the time.
I know. It's a fucking disaster.
No, I can't be here.
Everything about this is just stuck.
I don't like being here.
This is terrible.
I can't survive like this.
I know. Dude,
I can barely
get
breathe.
Where's the finagler?
I need my fucking inhaler.
Wait. We have to go now. We have to
get
run.
out of here.
We have to get the fuck out. This is crazy.
I can't operate. We can't do our show like this. Well, you know what? Fine. I think this is a perfect opportunity to say what I really feel about this show. I think that this show is...
You know what? Absolutely. outrageous. It's fucking outrageous. And these people can eat a fucking dick. And everything.
And also,
there's one thing that they need to know.
and another thing that I think of their Masters of the Universe episode.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And the horse they rode in on. I think this sounds like a war zone. Let's get out of here. There's got to be an exit. Let's get out of here quick. We have to go now. If we do one more, the F-bomb's going to drop.
I can't help it.
No, Steven, no!
So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm glad I paid for the premium package for that app.
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
Oh God, I didn't know that could happen.
I just got an app that put gunshots over F-bombs.
I think we killed them.
I didn't know there was that many sound effects with this app.
Didn't what?
I thought he liked the Masters of the Universe episode.
He might have. I don't know.
I
I think they're dead.
I think it's just a smoldering crater somewhere in Maine.
I think they're in Boston.
Somewhere up there. I don't know Northeast.
I don't know. You know what? The Northeast all blends together at some point.
Maybe they recorded that in Maine. I don't know, but wow. That's a lot to take in. Always buy the premium version of your apps.
Always use protection.
Wow. Oh, it's a lot to process.
Thank you so much, Spoils of Horror.
That was
Thank you
great.
so much.
That's the only way to return the gift we gave you guys on yours.
Yep,
So
that
we
was,
appreciate that.
God, that was so good. Please listen to their show. I cannot stress that enough. Don't listen to our show. Just listen to Spoils of Horror. They do, the movies that I want to cover, and we do the movies they want to cover. It seems to be a pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah, I don't know if Steven knows we're covering The Dentist yet. So probably by the time this releases, we're going to get a
Yeah.
message from him going, "You bastards, you
And
did it again."
We do need to recover, do the happening before they get to it.
That is right. Oh,
Yeah.
We're not supposed to know about that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we're totally not doing the happening.
totally not doing the happening.
Wink.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. All right.
Cough, cough.
Okay, well, that was fun. So let's talk about the fun of this movie, The Dentist. Let's get back into it. So what I remember from this movie is the teeth pulling of the wife.
At first, I thought it was a dream, and that wasn't happening.
What were you thinking everything was this
Because
dream?
this movie does a lot of weird, everything's got a white tint to it. Because we're in heaven, and then we got weird camera angles for no damn reason. Because
That's Brian
we're
Usna,
crazy.
dude. You
We're
know that.
loony. We're so cool and different.
I saw all that going. Brian is having a ball filming this
What
movie.
if we have a person walking downstairs, but we film at an angle completely on the side?
It's spinning, always spinning. I don't know.
It's artistic. What if we have the dentist narrating the movie at the beginning because he's in heaven?
He's not in heaven. He's in an insane asylum.
I thought he was in heaven.
What is wrong with you?
Well, I thought maybe he
What is
died,
wrong
but then I
with
was like,
you?
well, there's part 2.
Yeah, he's in part 2. He's in an insane asylum at the beginning, all
Angels
white,
can
and he's.
do dental work.
Why would he go to heaven?
He had all the white, so he clearly went to heaven. He got rid of the filth of the world.
Oh God, no.
Hey, I didn't agree with his methods.
Oh my God. No, like I feel like they were pretty clear on when he's having a mental snap and when he's not. So
Yeah, I mean but this one I definitely thought was supposed to be like he was imagining what he would do to his wife. And then we get the reveal at the pool of what her
Oh, God.
swollen mouth looks like and the aftermath of what he did to her and cutting her tongue off.
Pulled her teeth out. So I was glad they did it this way. Was he ties her up in the dentist chair, gives her a little bit of gas, but not enough that she's completely out, so she can basically feel what's happening. They show him pull 2 of the teeth pretty graphically. Like,
yeah,
look, I've been to a couple dentists, and I've been to some where these dudes have guns, like muscles. And I asked one time, I'm like, so you like working out? He goes, I have to pull teeth, bro. He's like, you know how much force it takes to pull a tooth sometimes if it's not fully rotted, like a good root? I'm like, no clue. I've seen a movie, but he's like, yeah. He goes, so you just work out. I'm like, holy shit, man. This is not for me. I don't want to do that. Please, I don't need teeth pulled.
I only go to the gym so I can pull teeth.
Well, if you really, really think about it, what would you leverage the pulling tools against? They can't pull against your teeth or your jaw. So it's almost like they have to pull it straight out of the bone. So
I just didn't realize that when, you need to call someone to fight crime, it's actually a dentist.
It's the dentist, man.
They are capable of anything.
I have a He-Man action figure that's a dentist. His name's Molar. It's from the Robot Chicken episode. When they pull Skeletor's teeth. I have that
Molar.
figure. It's Molar, and he's holding the pliers with a tooth in it. And Skeletor's head is missing a tooth. It's so freaking hilarious.
It's amazing.
And he has guns too because he's He-Man.
But
we get to what he pulls 2 teeth, and then the camera fades away because that's not the horror of it. And also, you're going to get tired after you watch him pull, I don't know, was it 32 teeth or whatever it is we have in our heads?
I don't know how many.
I don't either. I
about
didn't
a dozen.
About a dozen. About 350.
God damn it!
So the camera fades away from that, and then it's the next day. So at first I was like, I remember this being more graphic, when I was watching it. And then we get the poolside shot where she's got the sun hat over her head, and the pool boy walks up to her like, what's going on? Something, he finds her. I think he finds her tongue. Is that what it is?
He finds her tongue when he's actually cleaning the pool and not cleaning the wife out.
Not cleaning the pipes.
Yeah.
And he lifts the hat up, and my God, dude, this is some next level effects.
Brutal, like puffy ass lips and just like
they did it right.
Yeah, like they're not not healed, obviously, but they're not well kept. It was clearly a how can I make this surgery super painful for you?
Right. So this isn't like, okay, she turned her head and her face was normal, but the teeth were gone. They were swollen. There was trauma to the face. Even her eyes are bruised, which I've heard about with dental surgery. You can get a bruised eye. And then she's like trying to yell out at the pool boy, and they do a shot where her mouth is just open enough that you see her tongue with the sutures, so she doesn't bleed out.
Long sutures too.
Oh yeah, they weren't trimmed, nothing like that. It was enough to keep her alive for this. And you see all this, and then all of a sudden, it's like they do this shot where the pool boy's like spinning around in a circle, like what's going on? And then the dentist just appears in one of the turns and swings his arm across, and you realize he's like cutting him with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, and like the way that it's shot, like you have the camera above the two, and the pool boy is like backing up further and further, and you're seeing the knife go and just slicing.
Yeah,
and
like
the
across
blood,
his arms and everything.
Yeah, the blood is being like as if you were to dip a paintbrush in paint and then flick it. It's doing that onto the concrete below. So,
which is really awesome, like shot.
It's an incredible effect. Like especially because of how the camera isn't cutting away, so both actors are walking And as
Yes.
one is forcing his knife down, the blood is going with them as they continuously walk. I don't know how they did it.
It's almost a one shot, but you know it's not because of the way they have to do the effects with the blood
Yeah.
spatter. But they film it as if it's so seamless. To me, it's a little weird that he lets the pool boy off, I guess, easy because he stabs him basically when he's done slicing on him and he falls into the pool. But now he's covered up in blood and all this other stuff. And then I totally forgot about this next big kill. I had no memory of the IRS agent kill whatsoever.
Well, the IRS guy, doesn't he technically live?
Well, I was going to get into that in the Raining Blood.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so you're a little ahead of me. But anyway,
my bad. That's what I do.
The next torture scene I totally forgot about is the IRS agent goes in, and we're in full breakdown mode. This is the dentist has killed 2 people, 3 people already. The IRS agent is like, he's talking about how good his wife looks, like it takes a lot of money to keep her happy. Just really crude comments because he thinks he's got this dentist over a barrel. He can say whatever he wants, and they give him a little bit of the nitrous oxide. So he's kind of loopy, not quite Cousin Benny or Uncle Benny from Lethal Weapon 4, but almost there.
Yeah, definitely.
And the dentist slaps this like saw before saw was ever a thing contraption on this dude's head. I've never seen
it's like
one.
he got something out of the auto shop.
I have it looked like a medieval torture device.
Yeah.
That literally went over this guy's head with these pieces that went in his mouth. And as he turns the crank, it opens the mouth further and further. Like, I know they show the little clamp that holds your mouth open. That is exactly what I thought it would be. This is nothing like I would ever see in a
this is nightmare fuel.
office.
This is what your fear is as a kid, that your first time going to the dentist, that's what he's going to put in your mouth.
Yeah, this is, it's not even headgear. And why would it keep going after a certain distance? No one's mouth opens that far. So it's like, there's no reason those threads on that rod need to be that long. And he just cranks and cranks, and you hear cracking, and blood is like spitting out, and this dude's face is deforming. Practical effects are amazing in this movie. Period. It's a low budget movie, and they put the money in the right spot. I love, even though it's painful to watch, this entire torture scene with that.
It's uncomfortable all the way.
Yeah, that's this movie. This movie isn't scary whatsoever, but it is uncomfortable to watch. Even not during the kills, like seeing the stress this guy's going through, or the heartbreak we feel for Sarah because she doesn't get her braces off that first day. We're uncomfortable this entire movie, and they just keep upping the ante as it goes. So there comes a point towards the end of this movie. So all these horrific things have happened, and we still have Sarah sitting in the waiting room, and
just get her braces off.
That's all I want in this movie. That's all I want for Sarah. Get your braces off. But the secretary's like, okay, I don't hear anything. He's obviously either almost done or done with the IRS agent because she thinks he's just in there getting some work done. She sends her back. The dentist, he's like cleaned up, sees her, tells her, okay, go in that room. And we see him taking the braces off. Very calm.
Yeah.
Very
perfectly
collected.
fine. And it's just like, oh my God, she made it. The poor girl made it.
I'm like, yes, please don't. This girl does not need to be tortured in this movie. I don't want to see her die in this because that's my only character I've kind of latched to. And so she gets all this stuff off of her teeth, and he starts to lose it because he goes, you're going to squander this. Your teeth are perfect right now, but they won't stay perfect. And he starts losing his mind and pulls the gun on Sarah.
Which is haunting because it's just like, dude, she just got her braces off. Like, but like in his head, like you get to see what he is seeing, which is just these decayed, rotted
You see
teeth.
the decayed teeth. Another great effect. I love the
And
look
he has
of that.
to rid the world of filth. I cannot stress that enough.
And that's what. And he pulls. And this is not this is a young actress. I think she was in Ticks, which is still a movie I need to get you and Pete to watch.
Oh God.
Yeah, a lot of ooey gooey in that one. That's why I want to cover it. But you feel like she's scared. Like, I think she does a fantastic job in this movie. She's terrified at this point. She's able to kind of kick the doctor a bit and crawl her way out of the room. A lot of tussling back and forth. And she gets away from him for a little while, and she hides in the closet where he hid one of the bodies. And so this girl has to react.
Worst dental appointment ever.
Oh, God, man. This will scar this poor girl forever.
Oh, yeah.
And so we get a lot of this. I don't mean Scooby-Doo in a silly way, but a lot of...
I mean, it basically was. Like, it was open up this door, go through that one.
Yeah.
He's in the closet. She slams his fingers in a door kind of thing.
That looked like it hurt.
It did.
I guess there is one thing we haven't said about this movie. That this is technically a dark comedy. Like, there's funny things in this movie that are disturbing, but you still laugh at. So I guess using it as a reference of Scooby-Doo when they're running around, this office isn't that big, but she keeps getting away from him. And just when you think, there's no saving her, good old Ken Foree comes busting in the door.
Yeah, he does, because he solved the case.
Solved the case inexplicably somehow through this movie.
He's just, like, it was obviously the dentist. He's had a thing out for him since the start.
So Ken Foree busts into the dentist's office, saves the day, stops the dentist.
In Ken Foree style.
In classic Ken Foree style, although he doesn't get totally eaten by weird third dimension bugs. And
this time.
Just a skeleton
maybe the sequel.
On the ground. But and then somehow the dentist escapes.
Oh, dentists are very wiggly.
Very wiggly.
They just squirm their way out of stuff.
I think it was just like somehow in the confusion he slips away. So they're questioning the secretary. That's who it was. The secretary and Sarah, like, did he say anything? Where's he? Like, they're berating this poor girl who's just been traumatized. Like, did he say where he's going? Why would he? That's Hey, by the way, I'm going to go over here since the cops are showing up.
And the secretary's just like, he was such a good dentist, he would never hurt a fly.
He was a teacher. And Ken Foree, as the Batman detective
as
he
the
is.
Tommy Lee Jones of the movie.
You still
Aha!
This
I need every campus in the last 20-mile radius on the phone right now. All the dentists, they need to be stopped.
That might be the closest to the fugitive correlation that I'll give you. That's as close as it gets.
He was U.S. Marshals.
He was not Tommy Lee Jones.
He was Tommy Lee Jones.
So we get we see the doctor, the dentist, in a college with all these kids that are practicing dentistry on each other, which is hilarious.
I don't know if that happens, but I'm really terrified of the idea of a school of dental kids giving dental work to one another. It's like Flatliners, but even more terrifying.
In the 90s, everything was a go. I have to believe it's mostly like cleaning or, looking at the
They had the drills out. They were ready to go.
They did have the drills out for some, because that dude goes, all of them need to come out.
Yeah, he's like, extract that guy's tooth. Extract that guy's wiener. That person's got a tooth as well. I want it out of here. No one leaves this place with teeth.
I don't remember the wiener part, but I do remember
he was still mad at the pool boy. It was in there.
Yelling at everyone to extract the teeth. Shoots one of the students in the arm because he tries to disarm him or whatever it is. There's a lot of chaos.
It's so crazy because it's like you don't expect this part. Like, it should have been Ken Foree gets to the dentist's office and captures him. But It doesn't, and
They
now you
take
get
it-
this even more crazy, bizarre, like,
Yeah.
no, I cannot, stop my spree.
No, but they now the cops know where he's going. They're able to bust into the room. He takes a girl hostage for like, I don't know, 5 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't
till
really.
he gets.
He
Yeah,
does a really bad job. He's not good at taking
He
hostages.
gets out the door. They chase him down the hallway, and I guess there's just some correlation with opera music because he runs into this auditorium with this woman singing opera, and he pictures
Which-
his wife.
You know what? I didn't go to a real college, so I don't
No.
know if at real colleges they just have people singing opera for the hell of it.
My guess is I would have thought rehearsal, but no one else was in there.
Yeah, no, she was given the performance of a lifetime. That
She
was
was.
like Adele was in there.
Exactly. It was the private Adele concert for Adele.
Yeah,
That was the only
Audience
Adele
of
gets
one?
those. Yeah. And he kind of loses his mind thinking it's his wife, and they're able to finally like tackle him and subdue him and put him in jail. And that's the end of The Dentist.
yeah. Well, he thought the opera was his wife, and that's it.
Yeah, they do. There is a cool little thing where he's in they kind of go back to where he's in the insane asylum, Nate, because they show
He's not
him
in heaven being a dental angel.
They show him being pulled out of that cell and going to a dental chair, and someone's working on his teeth, and it looks like his wife. They pull the mask down,
Well,
and
it's
the
like
teeth
it's
are
the
gone.
toothless,
Yeah.
wife is there.
And all you hear is screaming and stuff. So it's a very Brian using a way to end this movie. Like, this is, I understand why you possibly thought maybe none of this is happening. Maybe he's just lost his mind. The ending, I believe, is maybe the nod to he's imagining that part, where
Yeah,
he's being
definitely.
tortured at the end. I think everything else leading up is what happened.
And I
Uh,
feel like because this movie it's direct to video, and
Yes.
it has a very, very low budget, which you can't knock it for. But
Not at
there's
all.
definitely parts of the story within that script that I felt like could have been tighter that, I see what
do.
they were going for. I understand what they were
Yeah.
trying to do. It just doesn't gel well.
And I guess this thing was like written like 3 times or something like that. And
Which
even
is so weird. Like, this doesn't feel like something that would be like, well, rewrite it. No,
Yeah.
back to the storyboard. We have to get the dentist is perfect.
from what I understand too, like Stuart Gordon's credited, but even his like versions of stuff didn't really get used, but he still demanded his name on the credits. So it's really weird. And I know Stuart Gordon and Brian Usna have a huge history there, so that's probably most of it, but I don't know. I don't hate this movie, but I think it's time to get into the things that
Yeah, stuff.
aren't
Yeah.
tainted by, February. Let's clean our clips up.
If you even mention him 3 times, he might appear.
That was only 2. We're good.
Oh, okay, we're good. We're good.
Well, as Nate tried to jump ahead on me a little bit earlier in the episode,
Yeah, that's what I do. I just want to jump to the end.
it happens. There's 3 people die.
It feels like more though. And I think a
Well-
lot of it's because you get to see more torture and people that probably wish they were dead after they visited this
Yes.
dentist.
So there's a lot more torture. So the wife doesn't die.
No, she lives.
She lives. Ken Foree finds her upstairs, tied up, and she's still alive. And I think I have an issue with the IRS agent because we think he's dead. And as Sarah's like trying to escape, he pops back up to like scuffle with the dentist.
Yeah.
And that's another fantastic shot of the thing on his face. Like everything is distorted.
Oh, it'd be
And-
so uncomfortable to be wearing and try to act in.
Not to mention, if my hands work, I'm uncranking that thing and getting it off my face. But no, he
Oh, without a
grabs
doubt.
He grabs hold of the doctor and kind of fights with him. Yet nothing is ever said about him again. And I'm sorry, to me, I don't know how he would have lived through that. Like, to me, just the shock, the trauma, everything right there on your face, like that's stretching shit up around your brain area. You know, I wanted to believe he died. Not to mention, that's one of the characters I kind of wanted to die.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Other than the pool boy, innocent people die.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's like, they don't deserve it.
Right, which I guess is a very Lovecraftian way of doing this. So I get it as far as what Brian Usna is doing, but it's still, it's that uncomfortableness. What's more uncomfortable? The bad people don't die and the good people do. And they just held back enough to not kill Sarah, because there has to be something to survive at the end. What I was actually expecting, like fully expecting, was when he goes to that university, that I was going to have this crescendo of a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah, I was really expecting like a full-on massacre.
I fully,
because like he's fully gone off the deep end at this point. He's surrounded by other people that he could even view that are not in his league of dental work.
Oh, they're all students.
Yeah,
like you
will never be able to do what I can do for the world. So
yeah,
you must all be vanquished. Like I don't want anything to do with you.
He's God over these people.
Exactly.
You know, so I honestly, when I was watching, because I didn't remember very much, I went, wow, is there like a really big bloodbath? Because everything kept ramping up as this movie went, honestly. So I was like, I was buckling in, and then it doesn't happen. One kid gets shot in the arm, and then he gets taken alive at the end. And I was like, wow, not the way I expected this movie to end. But so yeah, technically 3 people die. The wife definitely has a lifelong agony, which I guess is kind of her comeuppance, one would think.
Yeah, but she doesn't deserve it, you know, like,
Does she not, though? I mean, maybe not to that level, but, I'm not going to condone adultery either, but.
No.
You know, and she was, I think it's the biggest problem I have, is I don't have enough backstory about him to know maybe why she's doing what she's doing. And it's probably done on purpose, because if I know he's a dickhead, then I'm going to side with her and I'm going to sympathize.
I think no matter what, it's just like he was already an unsupportive dickhead, and his reaction to the cuffs missing. You know.
Well, I feel like he's so focused on the job. That's it's that lonely housewife mentality is what I'm guessing they were kind of shooting for, but I don't know. That's such a weird thing, but also that's very, and I'm saying it over and over again, it's a very Lovecraftian thing. There isn't really a happy ending for most people in this. Like even Sarah, she survives. That's trauma for the rest of her life.
Exactly. Like no one has a good time.
The secretary now has no job. Now is basically the only one left holding the bag. You know, that's it. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff. So I'm going to play the drop. I guess we can just talk about our favorite torture scene of the movie, I guess.
Yes.
What do you think?
You know, when we pitched the idea, you kind of forget that sometimes you come across movies like this.
I mean, it's not 0 kills, so that's something.
So, you thought?
I'm going with the IRS agent, because I get that. I get the sound effects. I get the actual torture out of it, and then he like reemerges later, and his face is even more like swollen and distorted and bloodied up, and he fights the guy. So I get a lot more out of that particular scene than I do even for the wife, because the camera cuts. We get the aftermath of the wife, but we watch what happens to the IRS agent. So I think that's the one I'm going to pick.
All right, that's fair. For me, it's the pool boy, just because of that blood splatter onto the concrete. Like
a very artful kill.
It's so artful. It's so effective. Yeah, like just the way that they filmed that. It was really one of those like, this is a shining moment in a movie that doesn't have many shiny moments to me.
It's a very well lit movie because so much of it happens during the day. A lot of white and bright background, so there's never a moment where I'm like, I can't see what's going on. And I love it for that. I really do. This is a very well shot movie. I agree. And Brian Usna can do artsy, but keep me entertained.
I don't know if he can do artsy.
I feel like he did. There was, while some of the camera shots may not have made sense, there were a lot that did. A lot of excellent use of camera angles, and you're filming a horror movie about torturing people's teeth. That is already a difficult task to do. So I give Brian credit for what he tried to accomplish here. Hell, he got a sequel out of it. So I feel like he succeeded in what it was. So let's rate this bad boy here.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Woo!
So I guess I gotta go first.
Yeah,
we gotta get back in our.
You gotta go first. This is the right groove. This is how things are supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, we gotta get back on track here. So I think I'm gonna go 6.5. I didn't hate this movie. I actually enjoyed it. It delivers on exactly what I expected, but I think a little bit of mostly script stuff. I'm still a little pissed off about the waste of Ken Foree in this. And I feel okay saying The Dentist is a 6.5.
Okay. All right.
6.5 machetes for that. That's not bad. That's above average.
You're higher than me. I was initially going to go lower, but I've enjoyed this conversation. I feel like we have made points that have made me go, oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I definitely feel like this is one of those. This is a perfect example of a movie that in the memory banks is way more horrifying, terrifying, just everything about it. Still effective, but there's in the memory of it, of being a kid and seeing it, was like, this was the movie you weren't supposed to watch.
Yes.
You know? And
I feel like
seeing
you're right. Yeah.
Now, and I wasn't bored. Like, there wasn't moments of me like wanting to look at my phone. This isn't even a movie that I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good party movie. Like, I would not bring this to a party either.
Nope.
And like, after watching this, yeah, I want to watch part 2 now, but like, I don't really have a desire to revisit this either. Like, there's better Brian Usna movies and there's better Stuart Gordon movies to revisit as well. So I'm left with a really bizarre feeling of even like, I don't even know if I could recommend this to someone to revisit, because it's just like, like whatever you remember of it's probably just like, keep it that way.
Okay.
So like for me, like I think I'm at a 5 right now.
Fair.
I was originally lower because I was just like, man, like I don't know if I really like this movie at all, but the conversation has really helped.
Right. I get it. I think what I would have to say to that is I would recommend this to someone that maybe hasn't seen it for sure. Like, I feel like this is a movie for someone to experience. But I do agree with you that this isn't going to be one that gets put in like regular rotation. Give it about another 5-10 years. I may go, man, I haven't watched that in a while. I'm going to pop that movie
could
back
be,
in.
but it also could be like, if this movie came out in 96, if this movie would have came out in 86, it would probably lose some of that like 90s feel to it that horror had.
This is such a 90s movie. Like,
yeah,
flat
and it's
out.
just like, I still like, I have not been able to figure out and to put it into words of the difference between like a film from 86 to 96. But
so
I just have that feeling that if this was filmed in 1986, we would have something different that could bump it up for me. And I got no proof of that. But
well, I get you. So my thought on that is, had this been filmed like in the 80s, it probably had a bigger chance to end up more of like a cult status. But it would not have been filmed like this was. And what I'll say is the reverse of that is also, say this movie was made in the 2000s, we would have had ultra high, good looking people.
Everyone would have been super sexy. We would have had the J.J. Abrams like camera flare off of the dental like skylights and stuff.
Paris Hilton would have been in this. She'd have been the first one to get her teeth ripped out or something.
Yeah.
So there would have been that. This is a very weird area of the 90s, and it's very transitional for horror. This is also like right around the time of like Brain Scan, which is one of my favorites. But
this is the same year Scream came out as well.
I was going to say this is like right in Scream territory, where that is the huge shift is right about Scream happening.
Yeah.
And then they just took it into this polished CW soap opera thing. I like that this is a 90s movie. This is a better than Leprechaun 4 for sure.
That's without a doubt.
That's
but
dead
like
into
Leprechaun
the
4, I could throw on with a party. The Dentist, if I threw this on a party, everyone would just be looking at me like, yeah, we're not inviting Nate back.
Yeah. This one's a bit of a downer for social gatherings, but this is also one where if you have a group of friends that just love watching horror movies, I would put this in rotation.
Yeah.
Especially if no one has seen it. Maybe had we all seen it.
And then Charlie's not invited back to the party.
And then I'm not invited back.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is, man, it's worth it to watch just for the practical effects. Like, I'm sure you can probably find it on YouTube, but just to watch this for the practical effects of the teeth being, gone, the sutured tongue, and then that saw before saw, man, that whole thing on that dude's head is just terrifying. Yeah. And watch the molar grinding scene, period. That caused me to move more than any of the scenes.
It's causing me to move right now.
It is.
And then I'm thinking about what if there was ticks in that molar.
Go to watch Ticks, man. Ticks is fun. Ticks is fun. All right, Nate. Well, we also haven't done something else for an entire month.
What else have we not done? I don't know. I forget how to podcast at this point. Everything got thrown off in February.
We need to do a trash review, man. We got to bring it back.
Oh, we can do that.
We can
because we were the right review and everything else was incorrect no matter what.
On some of them, we were the trash review. All right, man. Well, here's your drop we haven't heard in forever.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's gonna be a disaster.
All right. So this comes from Jacob John Taylor 1, who gave this movie a 10 out of 10 and said, "This is a great movie. This is a very scary movie. See it. It has a great storyline. It also has great acting. It is scarier than The Shining. It is one of the scariest movies ever. 6 out of 10 is underrating it. I give this 10 out of 10.
Not what I expected, but definitely a trash review.
Yeah, definitely.
Once again, opposite of everything we've said.
I didn't know what to expect from that one at all.
It's not scary, guys. This is one of the non-scary horror movies.
It's the scariest movie ever. One of the, according to this man.
I will give you Corbin Burnson's acting in this is really well done. Everybody else around him, though, maybe
it's
I like Sarah. I think she does really well.
Sarah's great.
But everybody else, you're right, very 90s feeling acting. So they're not. It's not a 10 out of 10.
Except for our boy, the Incredible Hulk, who is clearly the best actor in the entire movie.
Mark Ruffalo steals it. That's 100%. So, but yeah, it's very odd that a 10 out of 10 score is a trash review. But I agree. That's a trash review, man. All right, Bubba. Well, we made it.
We made it, but I still don't feel right.
You not feel right?
Nope, I don't feel good about this. Like,
why don't you feel
something's
good?
wrong.
Something's wrong?
No, I just, you know what? Something's got to be done, damn it.
Okay, he's getting awful feisty.
Because February went wrong. We were lied to. We were deceived. And then we picked a movie that was just okay. And that's it. Like, I've had enough of it. And we gotta step our game up, damn it. It's been 2 years of this shit. And here we are. I feel like we are below the barrel. We're not even at the bottom of it. Somehow we got underneath it.
Wow.
No, it's not even a wow. It's an upset.
Oh, okay. What can I do to make it better?
I don't know. You know what? Reboot.
Reboot.
We're gonna reboot the whole show again.
You're right again. We've rebooted again.
Action. It's reboot. Action. And we do it with the action movies.
Wow. Okay.
I don't even want the logo to be the same anymore.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I've been working on something behind the scenes then.
It's gone. Get rid of it.
Done.
All right, that was easy.
Yeah, you're kind of lucky, but yeah, wasn't expecting to go that hard yet, but yeah,
No, I'm upset. We are not doing things right. We haven't had any real bangers in forever.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to give the people what they want.
All right. Well, can I do the thing so they can tell us what they want?
Yeah, you can do that thing.
Okay.
Unless
you want.
I'm a man on an edge, Charlie.
When you say reboot,
this podcast is full of filth.
When you say reboot, though, does that mean you're going to start doing the closing statements?
Oh, no. See, there's certain parts that will stay the same because, like, you don't want me promoting the show. Like, I do really word, but see, fumble words don't know what they do. So you keep on telling people about the socials, and you keep telling people about other shows, and you keep doing that with your graceful voice. I sit here in silence and nod gracefully.
I like how you fumbled the word. So
yeah. So see, this is why you don't want me promoting the show.
Told me everything I need to know right there.
Yep,
all right,
I am the looks.
You're right. You're 100% the looks. So if you want to follow along on everything that apparently Nate's forcing us to do on our March spring cleaning reboot of Give Me Back My Horror and Give Me Back My Action Movies, you need to go follow us over at our Facebook groups of Give Me Back My Horror Movies and Give Me Back My Action Movies. Fun groups. We keep it entertaining over there. All not just talking about the show. I don't know if people don't understand that. It's anything horror and action. If a new trailer drops,
what? I feel like that is something we should say. Like, yeah, no, it's like people may be like, hey, have you seen this? I just watched this for the first time. This trailer just dropped. Like,
there's a lot of content we put on there that's not on the show. We promote the show, but probably not as much as we probably should in the group. But
I still have people going, oh, wait, you have a podcast from the group.
Kind of weird. So yeah, please go check us out over there. And if you're not into Facebook, we're also on Instagram at Give Me Back My Horror Movies and Give Me Back My Action Movies. Same deal. We just share stuff randomly, things about the shows, things about just horror and, action all together. That's where you meet our friends of Spoils of Horror. You see our interactions over there and a lot of fun there. We are also on Twitter under Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies. We're on TikTok. Each of us have our own channel on that, so we share fun little videos. We're on YouTube. So hopefully by the time you hear this, we've reviewed Cocaine Bear. I'm pretty sure. But we're recording this before we've even seen the movie. So
yes,
we're speculating.
We don't know at this point if Cocaine Bear was even worth it, but hypothetically, as of the weekend of this recording, if all three of us separately make it to the movie theaters and don't get mauled by a bear, we will have a live stream of Cocaine Bear.
I am not that far from where it actually happened.
You have real bears.
I have real bears, and I'm sure cocaine somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So it could definitely happen any day over here.
I just got heroin.
The bear falls asleep. Chasing the dragon.
Exactly. The bear just gets real sleepy.
But so we're on YouTube, and Nate and I also, before his giant rant about a reboot, we have some other things we want to try other than just the live streams on YouTube. So hopefully you'll subscribe over there so you can stay updated there for us. So also, please don't forget to go check out all the other fantastic shows on the Give Me Back My Podcast Network that aren't rebooting, apparently. We have...
No, I'm going to make a reboot, too.
You're going to make everyone reboot.
Yeah, everyone get a reboot.
You're going to have to pitch that to them.
It's the new hotness.
I'm not involved. So please go check out Good Beer, Bad Movie Night with Pete and special guest Troy as his emotional support Troy that he brought along on a couple of episodes with us. You also have Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling with Jimmy and the Plastic Sheet Jared, and Monster Movie Stomp Down. Those guys over there covering all of the monster side of horror and creature features and just good old-fashioned fun, sometimes some ooey gooey, a lot of Godzilla, things like that. So tons of great stuff to keep up with as I try to figure out what the heck we're going to do with our show now, apparently. So,
no, we're rebooting it. We're throwing all the... this is all going in the trash.
All of it in the trash.
No, it's not going in the trash. All the shows, all the episodes will still be up, but now it's going to be a better show. From here forth, it's only going to be better.
I'm kind of, as much as, maybe Steven didn't like it, I'm kind of proud of our Masters of the Universe episode. So can I keep that one?
We're going back to that kind of level. All right.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they didn't make a sequel to that. So
We're making a prequel. That's what it is. We're doing a prequel to the show.
I don't know if that's possible.
It's
that
possible.
That means we get worse. Can we just go like 5 years in the future when we're a lot better?
Okay. I don't know what kind of reboot that looks like yet.
I don't either. We'll figure it out on the way. So everybody, please stick around as we figure out what the heck we're doing on this reboot. So
we're under construction, starting now.
Under construction. All right, Bubba. Well, why don't you get us out of here so I can get to constructing?
Yeah, you're the guy that builds stuff, so you better start getting that. Get that axe handy. Get the miter saw. Get the dental drill.
No. I have a Dremel. Close enough.
Oh yeah. Get that ready.
It makes a terrifying sound as it is. All right, man. Well, get us out of here with the good word. All right, let's do that.
I am an instrument of perfection and hygiene, the enemy of decay and corruption, a dentist, and I have a lot of work to do.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
All right. Okay, Nate, I know this is kind of...
No, the board goes over there.
It's just a quick idea to give you an idea what we're going to do.
Well, no. All right, now you got hammer over there, too.
Dude, we're not doing this.
That's exactly... All right, and then the floor plans, they go there.
Did you even look at the colors?
I want a toilet, too.
What do you need a toilet for?
Well, up and downstairs. And you know what? We're probably going to need an elevator. I am tired of using my legs. No, we're getting an elevator.
I will get you the thing that rides you up the stairs.
Yeah, give me that old person thing that goes up and down stairs. I want one of those.
Up. I'll get you the thing from up.
I want windshield wipers in the studio, too.
You're impossible.